Alright, so this video is going to show you how to create events on our website, and I'm going to create 2 events as just a demo. Where the events live on our website, if you go to Connect and you go to Calendar, you can see some upcoming featured events and then a calendar view of events. So let's go to the admin dashboard and head over to events. So we've logged in as the admin and we click on pages. And unlike some of the other pages, events are actually not in the menu bar. It's down here, this little events tab under not linked. It is a live page, but it's not linked live up here in the menu bar. This calendar page is a different page. But anyway, so we'll click on events. And this takes us to the event feed. Events are basically like a specialized type of blog on Squarespace. Each event is like a specialized kind of blog post. That's probably the easiest way to understand it. So this is the event feed. And this page actually isn't linked anywhere on the website. But anyway, I'm going to create just a worship service. So this would be an example of a regular event that's not a featured event. So I'm just going to title it worship service. For date and time, we'll pick on the calendar and we'll say April 24th at 8:30. Unfortunately, you can't really type that in. You have to kind of slide it. 8:30 to 9:30. And if we want to give a little description, we can. Something really basic and simple like that. I'm going to copy that real quick. So that's pretty much it for a basic event. We'll publish it, and now it will show up on the calendar. I don't add a graphic or anything like that because it's just a simple non-featured event. Now, Squarespace does not have the ability to do recurring events. Unfortunately, that's a limitation of their system. So in order to create services or calendar, just normal events, we have to create each one by hand. So I'll show you a quick and easy way to do that. I created the 8:30 worship service on April 24th. I'll create the 10 o'clock one the same. I'm just going to duplicate it. And you notice it shows up as a draft and it's worship service copy. So I will edit that. I will delete copy out of the title. I'm going to click here for the time. And I'm going to click here where it says date and time. And I'll change the time to 10 to 11. And I will publish it. Pretty much that simple. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. Now, April 24th has those on it, and you can see what that looks like on the calendar page. I'll just refresh this really quick. If we go over to April, you can see featured events with a graphic have the graphic on the calendar date, which is kind of neat. But here we have worship services, congregational meeting on April 24th. You see those events now. So let's go back here and I'll show you how to create a featured event. I click there to create a new event. We'll call this one Q&A session. This will be on April 10th at 9:35. and it will end at 10 a.m. So we'll write up a little description. Something kind of simple like that. Because this is a featured event, I want to add a graphic, so I'm going to click here, which pulls up the event information, and I'm going to add an image. Work my way through the file place to find it. I'm going to save that and come back here and copy this, and then come back over and paste it in the excerpt. And then under options, we'll say featured event. Now, we can also create categories. We don't have any categories right now, but if we wanted to have Lakeview students or Lakeview kids or Bible studies or whatever category type of events we wanted to have, we could create categories, and then we could generate a calendar feed of just Lakeview kids events, or just Lakeview students, or Lakeview kids and Lakeview students, or just gospel community gatherings, or whatever it might be. So we can use categories in that way. We don't have any categories set up right now, but we certainly could. Because the budget Q&A is a featured event, the reason I'm doing that is because I want it to show up on the home page in the little carousel that shows upcoming events and that kind of thing. So we've got that there. We'll save it, and then we will publish it. And it is now there, and we should be able to refresh this calendar page again. On this little carousel, now you can see the budget Q&A session shows up in upcoming events. So these are all featured events, and this is the same carousel that shows up on the home page. It just pulls up the next 6 upcoming featured events. It also shows up on our calendar. There it is, the Q&A session. It doesn't show the graphic because there's more than one event on April 10th. And so if there's only one event and it's got a graphic with it, it'll show that graphic, like here, Easter service. We haven't put any other worship services and stuff for Easter yet. But here, because there are worship services, it just shows the events. That's pretty much it. It's not all that hard. It's just a little bit tedious to create events. You know, we have to create all the youth group events on each Wednesday night. There's no recurring option. What I'd recommend doing is just kind of going a quarter at a time, block out maybe an hour, and just create all the events for the next quarter. And then sometime, a month before the quarter's over, block out an hour and create all the events for the next quarter. You could do something like that. It'd be relatively easy. I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.